All right, and with that, a very, very interesting, intriguing fight here in the co-main event of UFC Fight Night, Cannonier versus Strickland. We have Arman Tsarukyan taking on Damir Ismagulov. This is a really interesting fight. Damir Ismagulov, I mean, these guys have seemingly fought each other and each other's opponents. It's like a round robin between Tsarukyan, Ismagulov, Mateusz Gamrot, and I think it might be and Guram Kutuladize. Guram fought Damir. Guram fought Mateusz. Mateusz fought Damir. And now Arman's fighting Damir. Arman fought Mateusz. It's all back and forth. Bottom line is those four guys that I mentioned are the top of the UFC future of 155 pounds. Those guys would absolutely all run through Paddy Pimblett. And I think if you're a Paddy Pimblett fan, kind of what I was talking about earlier, that's what concerns you. All of the cream of the crop that we're talking about as being the potential new champions in 2-3 years. Those guys are way better just on the ground, at stand up, all around than Paddy Pimblett. And you talk about Ilya Taporia, he's up there too. But when you look at this fight, Arman Tsarukyan versus Damir Ismagulov, Arman Tsarukyan is going to be the more strong guy. He's going to be filled out more. He might even be a little bit quicker. Damir Ismagulov is going to use the legs a little bit more. In Damir's most recent win over Guram Kutuladize, I'm actually of the mindset that Guram won that fight. I think he did more in the first and the second round to come away with it. And even in the third round, Damir, there was like an eye poke that was really hard, and Guram was like plead. It was very thankful that they decided to continue the fight and didn't take a point away, and because he was very convinced that he won the fight, and I agree. I think Guram won that fight, so I think Damir probably should be coming off of a loss here. I think Guram might be the best that the 155ers might have to offer, but then Ilya is really good too. 55 is just proving why it is the most interesting division in all of the UFC. Again, back to this fight. Both of these guys are really good at what they're good at. And what they're good at is what each other is good at. They have a strong striking base. Damir is a little bit more active with the leg kicks. Arman is a little bit faster and better with the jabs and the hooks. I think Arman has a little bit more of a pressure style, whereas Damir Ismagulov is going to be more of a counter striker. When it comes to the ground game, Guram was getting some of the better exchanges with Damir, but Damir was able to hold his own. I think Arman being stronger and having more of a wrestling base than a more of like a Greco-Roman base than a more of a jiu-jitsu base is going to help him. And I think he's a little bit more he's just going to have a little bit more control. He's going to have a little bit more top pressure. He's going to have a little bit more strength so that when it does come to wrestling, that Arman Tsarukyan is going to have the advantage. Like I said, going against Mateusz Gamrot, he had that loss there. I think that was really close too. And I think, when you look at the grappling between him and Mateusz, he was able to get Mateusz to the ground, I think 4 times. Mateusz only get him to the ground twice. And then Mateusz was able to reverse it and then ultimately get back to his feet, whereas Arman was the one who was actually initiating the takedowns and being more successful with them, especially as the fight got later on. Arman was initiating the takedowns more and more and having more success, but Mateusz was just able to get out of them and able to strike. And again, that was another really, really close fight there that could have went either way. Arman Tsarukyan and Mateusz Gamrot. But for this specific fight, I think Arman's going to be stronger on the feet. I think he's going to be the stronger fighter. I think he's going to be the bigger fighter. I think he's going to be the quicker fighter. And even though he has he's 3 inches shorter and he has an 1.5 inch reach disadvantage. I think that plays into the way that he fights. I think he's going to be more of that grappling heavy guy, almost like I would say he's like a Michael Chandler 2.0 in the sense that he's, quick. He's got the strong athletic base. He's not going to be out muscled or out grappled. He can come in there and then he can land good shots. I think he's going to be able to get on the inside of Damir. I don't know if this one's going to be finished. I think it's going to go to a decision, but I think Arman Tsarukyan having the ability to get the takedown and land some hard ground and pound while he's down there, make it inactive. active ground game. I think he's going to get the points for that. And I think also when it comes to the stand up, it may be too close to call that you have to defer to the control time and who is initiating those takedowns and who is getting the ring generalship. And I think that's all going to go to Arman Tsarukyan. So for all of those reasons, I'm going with Arman Tsarukyan to get the win here over Damir Ismagulov. But this is going to be an awesome fight against two top competitors at lightweight that I think, no matter what happens, we're going to see these guys again. And now we move up to